Powerful Magic Online Grinder Mog just top 4 2 challenges with a brand new take on Lurrus control. This deck is playing 9 colorless lands that are also spells. Urza Saga, 4 of, Wasteland, 4 of, and of course, Strip Mine. Let's take it through a league and see how it fares. Okay, welcome back, vintage viewers, to a Sunday league. I don't think I'll be able to stream tomorrow night, so I wanted to get some video content in for everyone, and I figured streaming on a afternoon on a Sunday would be nice for some of the European audience. So, what we're gonna do today is take a very interesting deck list for a spin that recently got multiple top 8s, including a first place in Vintage Challenges. Magic Online Grinder Mog put together this list, which I would consider to be a Lurrus control deck. But the very interesting piece about this deck is we are playing 9 colorless land spells. So you are playing the full 5 Wasteland Strip Mine and 4 Urza Saga. And the reason you are kind of able to do that is most likely because of the introduction of Lorien Revealed, which is a blue spell that is also a fetch land, which is quite the interesting new powerful magic card coming from the Lord of the Rings set. Now, we're going to just go over what they have put together here for us in this deck, and then we'll go over some of my thoughts on some of the card choices, because I do have some misgivings, but I like the idea, and I'm intrigued to try it out. So, basically, we are a Lurrus control deck, so there is no Tinker Citadel or anything in this deck, even though we are playing a almost full fast mana suite. We're playing with the full 5 Moxen plus Soul Ring, but not a Mana Crypt or a Petal. We're playing a bunch of flash creatures, so we're playing, or flash spells, I should say, instance and flash creatures. We're playing Flusterstorm, Spell Pierces, Removal, Ancestral Brainstorm, Bowmaster. You'll actually see there's no Ponder, no Preordain, nothing like that. Our only sorceries here are actually some of our more powerful restricted ones in Scroll, Time Walk, Tutor, some of the Delve spells. So it's an interesting idea. It's very much going to leverage the power of 6 forces plus your counterspell Bowmaster suite to keep things in check as you continually, hamper their mana base with Wastelands or advance your clock with Sagas. You do have some cantripping in the deck with Bobble, which is a nice, doesn't take up any mana slots, and you can recur it with Lurrus. Anything else interesting in this main? We are playing some classic Xerox cards in like Daze and Gush. We're playing a Repeal, which is an interesting catch-all. Can get it off Merchant Scroll. And of course our Delve spells. In the sideboard, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of anti-graveyard, 6 extra removal, with 3 of them being specifically for mono white with Soul Rend, and then 3 traps for combo. So my evaluation of this deck list is, I think there's some choices that I would make differently. But what we're going to do is we're going to play it as is for the first league, and then if we want to change it up later, we will. I typically like to play a Needle in these kind of controlling decks as my Saga target, maybe sometimes even both. It's possible that this deck, being blue-black, wants to play a Nihil Spellbomb instead of a Soul Guide Lantern. Bobble is a weird card right now because I think it makes sense in what's going on here, but also it just is kind of underwhelming in a Hull Reacher Bowmaster format where there are a lot of Lavinias and Collector Roofs. I'm not 100% sure if I like the idea of having all of these Bobbles. Bowmaster itself is a card that I find to be pretty medium. It does do a job, but I don't think it does the job particularly well. It's not a overwhelming threat. It's kind of a role player, but it makes sense to have, but I'm not sure how strong it is. I am skeptical of a Daze. I think the Daze works in this shell, but you don't have a lot of islands. And to that case, I think this Gush is a huge reach. I think it's a huge reach. I can't imagine this being a Gush deck with 9 colorless lands. Like, at what point in this game are we actually going to be casting Gush? Repeal as an answer to No Rod in a blue-black deck that has very low answers to No Rod is fine, but casting Repeal through a Null Rod is quite hard. You need to have 3 lands, and that can be challenging. And so I typically like an answer like Steal the Sabotage on the board instead. You'll also find that this deck is not playing Voltaic Key. It is not, sorry, Manifold Key. It's not playing Time Vault, and it's not playing Tinker. I think I would go on a limb and say that's a mistake. I would play, I think one of the biggest reasons to play Saga is because of the Manifold Key Time Vault combo. It's very, very strong. So like I think you could maybe like take out 3 baubles and play Key Vault and Vampiric Tutor, which this deck is not playing. So like there's a lot of changes here you could make. This is a deck list that trims on a lot of what people would be considering to be must keeps in your deck. So that's another interesting part of this deck. Another thing that's very glaring to me is we should probably be playing for Lorien revealed. Like this mana base looks okay when you consider this to be like almost a full fetch land, but it's still like I think I wouldn't be surprised if we're supposed to play the full set of Lorien reveals. I'm not exactly sure how good Soul Rend is. I personally prefer things like Dismember, but I'm willing to give Soul Rend a try in this kind of grindy controlling deck. One thing I would probably do is I would consider playing Tinker for just Vault Key and then putting a Sphinx in the sideboard. That way, post board against Bazaar, you can actually just not reveal Lurrus and instead play Tinker Sphinx, which I think is much stronger anyways. And you could even like put ley lines back in the sideboard, though I like having access to a bunch of different pieces of anti-graveyard, especially like sometimes you just really, really want to cage against a bunch of random like brews and oath and that kind of thing. So those are like some of my initial thoughts. I think there are things that I would certainly change. The big one being this deck should probably be playing Vault Key. I think Vault Key is like the major way these fair Saga decks win, especially against things like Mono White. So that's my initial analysis. But let's play through a league. Let's see how it plays out and see what has been cooked up for us. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content. Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. Okay, here we go. Round 1, we have a cat. Always fun. We've got turn 1 Bowmaster. We don't have the ability to play this negation. We have follow-up Bowmaster plus Wasteland. Seems fine, if not a little underpowered hand. Though I guess on our second turn, if we don't Wasteland, we could hold up Negation plus or Bowmaster. This is a hand where I guess you really get to test like just how stabilizing Bowmaster is. I could see like mulliganing this hand even just because. But the problem is if we're mulliganing this hand, like why are we playing this deck, right? Isn't this like what we're trying to do? Obviously we need more blue cards, but is that a good reason to mull this hand away? Watch them just jam an oath here, and then we just play the control game. No, okay. All right. Oh, Daze is interesting. I'm just gonna go with Bowmaster Go. See what they're on. So there could be Bug. They could be Oath. You would have mulled it? Okay. That's definitely possible. This is gonna be Vampiric Tutor. Well, what are you considering land drop? Are you kidding? I mean, aren't we always going to have a hand with like many, many land drops? Like, isn't that part of what was happening here? Like, I'm not really sure. I mean, I kind of think my opponent is on Oath of Druids, which makes me not want to cast this Orcish Bowmaster. But like, if I don't cast this Orcish Bowmaster, how are we advancing this game? I get the Orcish Bowmaster plus Wasteland, they're tropical, and they don't have another green source, so I guess it's totally fine. I guess they could theoretically be on 4-color walkers still as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I was definitely not excited to keep this hand. Like, if they somehow force this, I feel like it's super good for us, right? We just Wasteland them and do the same thing again. Seems okay. Hey Mog, did you catch the beginning section of this the start of this where I talked about like the different choices? Vampiric Tutor in response to Orcish Bowmaster. Sure. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, I just so like I do my intro for my video and I just go over like what your deck was looks what I think your deck is trying to do, and then I went over a bunch of things that I thought the deck was maybe missing or I didn't like about the configuration. I am playing your deck straight up as it is. But I mean there was a lot of things that I thought were I didn't really either didn't understand well or had different opinions on, so you can actually watch that if you want. It's you can just like go back in the Twitch VOD. But I mean, my opponent kept a one land hand, and then I wastelanded them. Like they probably vampiric for like ancestral or tinker or something, and they're just super doomed now. I don't think there's any reason to get Lurrus. We're just gonna hold up all of our counter magic and just proceed this way. I think you should have main phase Bowmaster second, just for extra damage. Eh, that would make the clock one turn faster, right? Or no? Maybe. I wasn't paying super close attention. Cycling repeal on their black source for fun? I don't think so. I can like repeal a Deathray Shaman or something. Not 100% sure what they're playing. But I'm pretty sure we have enough power in play to win the game, and we just hold up all our counter magic and win. It wouldn't have changed the clock, would it have? Oh, it's an extra 2 damage, right? No, it's an extra 1 damage. All right, my opponent's dead because they kept a 1-lander and got wastelanded. Wasteland is so good. It would turn off fetches. That's fair. All right, so I don't know if my opponent is on bug or on oath. It's unlikely they're on bug because they had a Mox Ruby, but they could be on like the 4-color Deathrite deck, right? But they played a Vampiric Tutor. My guess is they're on Show and Tell Oath. If it's Show and Tell Oath, are we bringing in Cage? Seems fine. Could bring in Needle for like Oko. It's kind of narrow though. Don't really like that, but I guess like the other option is like some traps if I want them. Repeal looks good. Counters look good. Bowmaster is not great, but it's probably fine to keep in. Let me go look at the Show and Tell Oath deck real quick. Oath? Show and Tell, Forces, Traps, Lorient. Oh, this is the Crop Rot Oath. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Show and Tell Oath. This one. This one has a Citadel. This one has Demonic Vampiric, 1 Preordain, 1 Ponder. Oko attracts. This is a slightly different list just because it's Montolio. Negation drop is so bad. I mean, it's like Needles, Besagiwar, Oko. It's probably not even that good. Maybe we just play a trap instead of a push. I don't know. I don't think it matters too much. I guess like there's like something to be said about maybe boarding out some Bowmasters for more stuff, but I don't even think that's. Yeah, maybe we're supposed to board out some Bowmasters for more counter magic. Like these Bowmasters are stopping what 3 spells and then they're triggering their Oath of Druids. Kind of feels bad. Let's not play so many traps though. Let's play the Needle and 2 traps instead. Oh, also, we don't 100% know that they're on Show and Tell Oath, but between Vamp and Tropical and Ruby, it's probably likely. Yeah, no problem. I figured if I can't stream tomorrow, I might as well stream at a weird time that people who can't normally watch can tune in. 3 years in a row. Hell yeah. Appreciate it. So I have a Wasteland. I don't have a Force. I have a Flusterstorm. I have Sagas. I guess this is like my question. I just don't know what I'm looking for in a hand, I guess. Because this hand doesn't look like particularly appealing to me, but at the same time, this is what my deck is doing. I agree that Gush is bad. I think Lantern uses Colorless better than Spellbomb, which is fair. I think that's totally fair. Tinker and Vamp and Tutor over Gush and Merchant's Scroll looks good. However, Citadel is just okay since we have a lot of reactive cards. I mean, I'm not even saying we should play Citadel. I think we just want to play Vault Key with our Sagas. But, because I don't think the Lurrus is bad either. I think the Lurrus is totally fine. But you could play Citadel for sure. Well, I think you do both. I think you want a robot post board and you want Vault Key main. Oh, at the end of the stream, we'll go through the changes and see what it looks like. Though I guess you could cut Baubles really easily, then cutting Lurrus doesn't even really matter, right? So that's totally true. We could just cut Lurrus if we don't have Baubles. This hand is like super awkward, right? Is it even good? Like, is this a turn 1 Saga, like Lotus pass, and then hold this Brainstorm for the next turn where I can play Fetch and activate Saga, I guess? I don't know. I just don't think this hand does anything, right? If this hand had a Force, you'd like snap it off. Any card besides maybe Brainstorm, if you switch for a Force, it's actually a good hand. Well, don't know if they're... Yeah. This hand's much better, though. I'm just going to keep this and mulligan, or put this Gush away. I just don't see a world where we're gushing. My opponent has Mold to 5. That's a good sign. If you play turn 1 Saga in that hand, like your opponent just kills you. You have no interaction. They've Mold to 4. I guess we're not playing any Magic. They're going to like keep a 1-line hand. They're going to get Strip Mined and die. They Mold to 3. You would have put away Time Walk. I just don't think we're ever casting Gush. Oh, the Mox? I was thinking something like Time Walk on turn 1 into Strip Mine. I don't know. I putting away the Mox is probably fine. Like, the Gush has some value as a blue card for Forest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on the other side of the table. It gave us a lot of thinking, and then not a lot matters, right? All right, here comes a 3-card hand from the opponent. Underground Sea, pass. Bowmaster. So I was thinking, like, Fetch, Sea, Ruby, Time Walk, Wasteland was what I wanted to do. I'm going to do it, even that's something other people don't want to do. And then you can, like, play Force of Will game, rebuy Lurrus or something. Well, I mean, we didn't have a Bowmaster in our opening hand. They did Mold to 3. That's why this Strip Mine's very important here. Oh, Bowmaster makes this line better. Oh, they drew... yeah, that's fine. My opponent's going to Mystical for an Ancestral. I'm going to Strip Mine their blue source, and then they're going to die. And if they don't, I still just, like... Oh my god, it's just so over. Should I just Bowmaster now? So we don't have to play around timing windows? Yeah, I think so. See if their last card in hand is another land. If not, they're doing nothing this turn. Their last card in hand is another land. So are we are we letting we're not letting ancestral resolve though. I mean, I don't know. The daze is way more acceptable than the gush, right? Pretty sure I'm just hard casting this daze. Opponent probably just concedes. Yeah. Well, those weren't really the most interesting games to start with. Okay, I got a Blurrus and we got Absorbent 3 across the table. This is a matchup where my wastelands, or sorry, my sagas are probably very vulnerable, as my opponent loves to play artifact and enchantment removal. I also like don't have a ton of pushes and stuff in the main. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if we're Lurrus deck or not. But I definitely understand playing Bobble with a Lurrus deck, though I don't know about 4 Bobble. All right, so my opponent is playing either black-green or red-green or Jund. This hand is probably not going to get anything done, though I do like hitting land drops against them. This... All right, so I want to keep this hand, but I just know I just know I'm gonna get wrecked by absorbing threes. I think I just keep this and get rid of the Ruby and then pray. Like, this hand is so powerful, right? I get to turn 1, put the Lurrus into my hand, crack 2 baubles, and play a Saga. Am I supposed to mulligan this against black, green, red, green cards? No way, right? No shot. I can't do it. uh... All right. Show me your secret. Show me my secrets. Wasteland. Boo! They always have it. Every time. Play Saga first so that I don't get Vigored for tons and tons of value instead of just tons of value. All right. Well, don't hurt me, daddy. There's no shot they don't like double like Spirit Guide a Boo or just Spirit Guide a Boo out here. I can't even counter it anyways. What is this? What is this? What's happening? What? All right. So be it. This is like another problem with Bobble. Well, I guess the good news is we're not getting booed this turn. The bad news is everything else. I haven't really done anything with Besiege because it's not on Magic Online. I don't really do stuff outside of Magic Online. Ooh, Lotus is pretty sick though. So what do we have? We have one remove. Well, we have any number of Bowmasters remove Bowmaster. So there's that. And then I guess if opponent doesn't have a Wasteland, then this Saga or like a Vigor or something, the Saga is gonna go wild. All right. So now the questions are. They don't have an answer for Saga now. We should probably just get a second Saga going, and then the first Saga can fetch a... Well, we don't really want this guy's Cradle to stay in play, right? It's a little bit too much mana. So we can just go Lotus, Lurrus. Do we play a Bobble anyways? We probably do. Definitely have to kill this Cradle, right? Uh-oh, is this Endurance? Okay. Well, I guess this would have happened no matter what. So I guess we're rebuying Lotus. Rebuying Lotus does give me 4 creatures though, so it's not too bad in anyways. If I give them a ping off Bobble, another Bowmaster. I mean, I'm not expecting my opponent to play 4 Bowmaster for what it's worth. Maybe that's the disconnect here. Well, we didn't lose our Lurrus this way, so I said we didn't lose our Lotus this way, so I guess there's some upside. All right, so my opponent has Taiga Boo in hand, and we have a 4/4, and then I mean, we are going to outsize them. They have to basically draw Vigor, right? And then more than that. Oh, sure. I mean, they could just do that with any of their creatures, right? It's their last card, Cinder Vines. When an opponent casts a non-creature spell, deal 1 damage to opponent. Oh! Destroy Saga. I just assume every card in Absorbent 3's decks destroys Saga. That's just what I assume every time I see him. All right. It's fine, though. This blocks everything right now, and we have more Sagas in the back pocket. Though the Boo is going to be kind of annoying. This is like another reason I really want to put Vault Key in the deck is because fetching a Manifold Key on these kind of board states is what breaks open Saga tokens a lot of the time. That could be... Never mind, because this thing can't be countered. I thought that was going to be really good for us, and then it's just not going to matter, right? I don't know. It's not really a complaint. It's just a stated fact. Like, opponent hits a land drop here. I can't even counter this Boo with a Daze. Not that I really want to, because I don't want to lose this Lotus this turn anyways. Yeah. I guess this is better than getting booed. I mean, we still have 2 Sagas, so, like, we are winning, for sure. We've drawn, like, all the Sagas. Lorien Revealed... Man, Lorien Revealed would have been so sick if we still had Lurrus, because we could just go Lorien Revealed. But I guess they have a Bowmaster, so we probably don't want to do that anyways. But just the idea of going Lorien Revealed is pretty sweet. Doesn't look like we're going to cast that this game, unless this Bowmaster finds a Bowmaster of my own for me to kill it. Can I attack here? We can go make this thing a 5/5. Their best block is here. No, we can't attack here. Okay. We're chilling. We're big chilling. I don't think there's any reason to cycle this Lorien Revealed, though. We have an Underground Sea next turn anyways. We would like to maybe draw Bowmaster so we can cast it, or pitch it to Force or something. Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want the Boo to come into play, and I'm very happy my opponent has missed a bunch of land drops. I can't counter it because of this halfling. A Wasteland would be kind of nice. But I mean, a Saga tokens should be enough eventually. I drew the Wasteland. That's sweet. So I have to get a Soul Ring or use my Black Lotus. Is there a top in this deck? There's not a top in this deck, right? There's technically a Soul Guide Lantern that we could get, which would shrink Tarmogoyf. Or we could just rebuy... Oh, we don't have Lurrus anymore, so there's no real reason to get a Bauble. So it's like, do we want to shrink Tarmogoyf with Soul Guide Lantern? I think that's worse than just doing Wasteland Soul Ring. Yeah, I mean, we definitely want the Bowmaster to go away so we can play this Lorien Revealed. Well, I mean, I can make more tokens with other cards. Like, I have a Black Lotus, but I kind of think the Black Lotus should probably just stay in play. This thing makes any color, right? Not confident that hitting this is the correct one. All right, so if I attack now, I have 3 8/8s attacking. Yeah, that should be a good enough attack. Right, that's why I didn't hit the Taiga, because they have the the red mana for Boo off of Halfling, so I might as well hit the Bayou, right? Though they did play 2 red spells here. That is okay, sure. So I'm gonna have 8 damage. So I can kill the Tarmogoyf and the Orc token. Is that better than killing the Endurance? Yes. If my opponent has a Vigor, doesn't matter. We just get wrecked, so it's fine. Okay. Why are you shocked we're still playing this game? Because I mean, the only reason we're still playing this game is because my opponent missed a land drop for 3 or 4 turns, right? I think we would have probably been killed by Boo if opponent hadn't missed a land drop. Why give them information before attacking? I don't think there's a good reason. I think I just autopiloted. I have Soul Guide Lantern next turn to deal with Tarmogoyf, so keep it around. That's pretty reasonable as well. Okay, so my opponent is not playing white creatures, but they are definitely playing creatures where I want to play 4 Fatal Push. I don't actually think we actively want a Soul Guide Lantern. I actually think we want to probably cut down on things that die to what our opponent is doing. It's really weird that I want to keep in negation, but I think like the only card that truly matters from my opponent's deck is Boo. But maybe it's still worth it to just cut negation and try to hit Boo with force and just save our forces for Boo. I would never bring in Tabernacle if my opponent is not on Bazaar. It's just not how you typically want to play the game out. Do I want to have access to a Needle as an additional answer to Boo? I typically don't like playing Needle against this deck because it has so many different ways to destroy artifacts and stuff. Well, I don't think they have Ren. Maybe they do have Ren. I do want to like trim on some baubles, maybe. I think Flusterstorm is pretty bad, but Spell Pierce is, man, I don't know. They're just playing such a weird deck. It's kind of hard to pick your spots. I think I would rather play, I mean, none of these cards are like super good, right? Maybe I'd rather play Negation over Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm can protect us from Vigor, though. And where Negation can't. It's, yeah, I mean, they do their own thing. Maybe I'll play like 1 Flusterstorm. Can I Merchant Scroll? I do have a Merchant Scroll. Not that I would Merchant Scroll for Fluster very much here. Nah, I guess I want to try this. I'm not really sure, but my opponent just has a very odd configuration, so it's just something you have to try to figure out, and I'm not really sure the answer. No, so like my opponent, so the problem is with Boo, sorry, the problem with Needle is my opponent plays 8 different ways that remove artifacts, and some of them in multiples at one time. Yeah, well, my answer is I think I just don't want it to resolve, and I want to just lean on my other cards to make it not resolve, is what I would probably say. Okay, so I'm definitely going to take one of these and turn it into an island. And then I don't think I'm going to play out the other one. Well, it depends. If I want to get my Moxen shattered. I guess it's okay. I have a Spell Pierce right now and a Daze, so I guess it's fine. Let's just do that. And then I wouldn't get my Saga shattered, so... Having to use my Daze isn't ideal, though, because I want to hold up a Spell Pierce Ancestral, right? This does let me cycle a second Lorien, though, so that's a pretty powerful upside. Though the one thing that our deck doesn't really do is, you know, like it's like always gonna have land drops to use. Opponent's Deathrite Shaman is currently turned off because they have no fetch lands and I have no fetch lands. I'm just going to cast Ancestral, target myself, and then daze it. I think casting Ancestral here is good Maybe it's not necessary. Maybe keeping an island in play is better, but this days has just kind of been unreal, right? This wasteland looks really bad in this game, though. So my opponent could vigor these on my upkeep now. Looks like they are going to. Okay. Definitely. Do I really want to cycle any of these into islands when I already have two basic islands? Maybe I want to cycle one of them into a sea. Just so I have a black source. So now I don't have. I did draw a sapphire. So actually now I can actually play Saga. It's kind of crazy. That's like gotta be this one of the best draws in my whole deck. Because now I can actually play Saga this turn and protect it. And actually activate it on the following turn. Kind of wild. What was the pitch? Fair. It was a Veil of Summer. Uh-oh. Opponent still has not been able to make mana with their Deathrite Shaman. 3 mana. Green, black. Oh, no. Well, can't play around that one. I thought my Saga was finally safe. All right, well, now they can make red mana off of their Deathrite Shaman. Definitely not ever cycling this Lorien, considering I have land drops for the next 8,000 years. I think I am not allowed to put Lurrus in my... Ooh. I think I'm not allowed to put Lurrus in my hand because I need to be able to Spell Pierce Boo. Do I want to Wasteland, though? Yeah, I think so. I still have another play I can make too, which is nice. Though I don't know if like we're supposed to play this Bowmaster before they play their own Bowmaster. Though maybe I'm supposed to not Wasteland so that I can hold open Bowmaster and Pierce. So if they end up turn a Bowmaster here, we can Bowmaster their Bowmaster and then have Pierce up for a boost still. It's just gonna eat something. I guess that's also a problem. I need to draw what? A Fatal Push for this thing? Like, I can't be the first one to play Bowmaster, right? That's how this mirror works in, like, regular formats. Oh, my lord. That's a big boy. All right, I guess I can trump it with my Bowmaster. Okay. We haven't really drawn Magic cards that have had significant relevance in the game. Is their last card Lightning Bolt? It looks like it. They're going to eat a land and make a... I think their last card is Lightning Bolt, the way they were just posturing there. Yeah. So they're out of card. Oh, wait, green? Though they're going to veil it. Okay, sure. I guess I fire at myself. Okay. I don't get the second one because they're hexproof. Nice. I mean, what? Gush? I don't think we can gush this turn, though. I think we need to buy Lurrus this turn. Because then I can loop Lurruses with... Oh, I guess I can't do that. Because there's Deathrite Shaman. But I can... I don't think I can gush yet. I think first I need to get Lurrus. So I have to hope that they don't have land Boo here, because I am finally down on my spell pierce. And I need to hope they don't have a Bowmaster. Sure. Now I can't even counter Boo anyways. And then jumping with an army seems totally fine. I think preserving our life total is okay. We have life total give, but if something like a Boo happens, our life total gets reduced pretty quickly. So now we have... They can still have Bowmaster, right? Ooh, Saga's a good draw too. Saga's a very good draw. I'm just like a little worried about casting this Gush into a possible Bowmaster, but I don't think we can really afford to play around that. So we should probably just play... Well, also like gushing with... I guess we're getting Moxen back, so we can theoretically gush fine. Maybe we just don't gush until... Well, we're going to overdraw if we do that, right? Because we're going to play 2 cards. We'll go down to 3 cards, and then we'll draw up to 8 cards. I don't know. You asked Mog why there's no vault. I have no idea why there's no vault. Maybe they didn't want to get collect roofed. Oh. So like if I gush here, I think if they show me no Bowmaster, I'm probably supposed to gush. Even though I'll overdraw, I have lands forever, and I need cards that matter. It's like the worst gush timing of all time. Steve Menendian would not approve of this gush. Yeah, I mean, that is, of course, a downside. You don't really want to ever draw a Manifold Key or a Time Vault by themselves. But, are we getting booed here uncounterably? Yeah, we are. Oh, they always have it. It's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Oh, shit. Okay. The good news here is I can actually jump with Bowmaster and bring it back. Is that good news? I don't know. I guess I can't really do that if I want to play a Saga token. Oh, no. Things are bad. Oh, they're not even going to attack with Tarmogoyf. Okay, I'm glad I saved 6 life before. The fact that they drew Delighted Half... They had 0 cards in hand and they drew Delighted Halfling Boo is not great for the home team. All right, that's like... So how big do I need this Lurrus to be? I don't think we're wastelanding. We're already behind on board. I can theoretically draw 2 cards with Bobble. That would leave me with a 4/4 construct. I probably still have to do that because I need fatal pushes, right? Collector Oof on top. I feel like things have gone bad to worse. I'm drawing another Wasteland. This is like kind of the concern I had with this deck is you really need your lands plan to be good. And if it's not, it's really bad. Maybe I was supposed to attack. No, that looks really bad too. I don't know. Just have to hope that the next card down is good. That's not bad, actually. No, I think island cycling would be bad. I want to be able to play spells and make a construct. So the question is going to end up being, I'm not going to be able to make another thing with this saga. So am I going to repeal? Probably not. Sacrifice a creature. When you do, Bool deals X damage to another target, where X is the creature's power. If it was a hamster, draw cards. How does that interact with Bowmaster? If they target Bowmaster. I think I'm just bouncing this Boo anyways. I think I'll get 4 triggers, right? Because it deals damage, but it's not dead until the conclusion of the ability, where it will die from state-based actions of having damage. So I could theoretically let this happen and get 4 triggers. 4 triggers lets me kill Collector Oof. So I actually think I am... Can I beat them drawing 4 cards? I need to draw Fatal Push. I'm gonna repeal the Boo. I can beat the Collector if I just need a Fatal Push. They can still kill something here too if they want. Yeah, they're gonna sack. Wait, what? They sack the. Oh, I guess that's the only one that kills the Lurrus. I don't really think I like that play very much. Now you're gonna chump the construct token. I'm not a fan of that choice. Another oof? Oh, okay. All right. Well, now I understand, I guess. Okay. Man, opponent just no lands, huh? Just spells. All right. So we did draw a cruise, which is quite good on this board. I can't make another construct token, which is quite bad. Did I bring in the needle? The chatter who said make sure you bring in the needle is probably I told you so. Needle looks really good right now. All right, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. That's on me. Maybe I should have the needle. Well, I don't think you can attack with this Goyf because it needs to protect your Boo, right? I can't bring back my Lurrus in this deck, so I don't think it matters. I just want to get rid of as many cards as possible. And I have to shrink the Goyf, I guess. So I guess I get rid of everything that's not Lurrus. And they can eat that for life, but that's fine. Okay, I drew the push. I drew the push. So now I actually think we push the Tarmogoyf, because by pushing the Tarmogoyf, they have to chump with this Collector Reef anyways. Unfortunately, I didn't get this Tarmogoyf low enough to just attack through it anyways. We're gonna, if this, I can actually, if they chump block here, I can cast Lorien Revealed, right? It's kind of wild. I don't know if I want to. I'm gonna overdraw like crazy, but some of these cards are probably bad at this point. So they're gonna get a fresh Boo. That repeal was super good. Oh, right. I drew a Mox. You're right. I guess it's the same thing, right? Is it not the same thing? They chump. Isn't it exactly the same? Oh, I only have one blue. You're right. Okay. I mean, I think we're in actually an okay spot now. Do I want more blue or do I want to waste? I think I just take all these wastelands. Eventually, I'm gonna like cut them off. This thing is super huge. And I'm gonna draw 3 cards next turn because I kept this the whole game. Wastelands will continue until morale improves. I guess I am kind of dying. I need another Fatal Push, huh? But I have another Ancestral, so maybe I should have kept another blue land. Blue, blue. I mean, I have four Fatal Pushes in my deck. So I just hold the Fatal Push. I force the chump block with the Construct token. Oh, I guess I have to Fatal Push this Deathrite at some point as well. I guess I could just Wasteland them off of all their bayous. Trying to get more information. They have a Pyroblast coming. I think I have to hold this Fatal Push for if they sack Boo or they plus Boo. If I draw like another Fatal Push, I draw a Saga. That's even better. Yeah, but attacking is better. Like I have the Fatal Push, right? If they plus or if they minus, it's still great for me either way. We just need to work through this Boo. Though this Deathrite might just kill me on its own. If I don't play Wasteland. I actually think I have to play Wasteland over Saga. How many bayous do we think they have? I guess is another question. I don't think Saga is better, right? Like, we'll eventually just win with this construct token. I don't think Saga is better. I think Wastelanding is better. I can eat the graveyard to limit his food. With what? What am I doing that with? Like, there's infinite food here. There's no Soul Guide Lantern in my deck anymore. And it also doesn't hit our graveyard. I didn't leave in Soul Guide Lantern either, so... I didn't leave in Soul Guide Lantern. I don't think that card's very good here. Mental misstep. I might just die to this Deathrite Shaman, to be honest. I have to kind of hope they don't have another black mana. They might want to fetch a red mana for Pyroblast or something. This doesn't matter when I do this, right? Cool. All right. So if I Wasteland pre-combat, is that better or worse? Oh, I just drew the other Fatal Push. Sick. So I Wasteland pre-combat, and then in the beginning of combat, I Fatal Push. Oh, they didn't even float. I think this is now winning. Nice. Preserved a little life as well. I don't think they're going to have a haste creature, so let's get the 1 damage in. All right. Well, we drew 3 Fatal Pushes in our top 36, so can't complain. I don't have any time left on my clock, but I don't think we're going to play another game anyways. The Lorien reveal drawing 3 cards was just nuts. And we did get to Gush in this game for what it's worth. All right, I have hardcast everything in my hand. And their hand is Pyroblast Unknown. Yeah, there's a little bit of a power level. I mean, the Boo, like hitting Delighted Halfling into Boo almost was good enough. It was very close to being good enough. I was playing around Boo the entire game with my Spell Pierce, and it just didn't matter. This is a lot of counter spells. Like, this is the kind of cards I could have drawn instead of Fatal Pushes, and that would have made this game very difficult. I don't think my opponent has another black source in their thing, so it's probably fine. Like, the Wasteland plan probably works. All right, this one's locked up. That was crazy. We'll take it. Okay, here we go. Cat. Do you have a cat? No cat. So, like, what are we doing with this? We only getting this hand too? Because like, I don't have a Moxen. I don't have a blue, I don't have a Force. This is also a mulligan, right? I have 4 land drops. I'm gonna draw more land drops. Just has to be mulligan. This one is Bowmaster. What is this deck? What are these hands? I mean, this hand is this hand better? It's probably better because it has sagas, but it might just be worse. Like, these sagas aren't really usable, so we're doing nothing on turn 1, and then we're playing like Saga Bowmaster on turn 2. I think this is just a mulligan as well. Give me an Ancestral. All right, well, this hand's better. What am I keeping? I'm bottoming Underground Sea Bobble and keeping Saga Sapphire Wasteland Force Daze? Probably. This gives me the ability to force on turn 1. I can hardcast Daze on turn 2, and then I can make a Saga token on turn 2. Or sorry, I can hardcast these on turn 1 after my draw, and then I can still play Saga tokens. Yeah, this hand is definitely the best of the ones we've had in this game, so. These hands are great in Legacy. Are you sure? There was no Brainstorms in my hands. Why are we playing against another Taiga player? What is happening? Why is there a Taiga across the table? I don't understand. Well, my Wastelands are garbage now because we're playing against another Deathray player. Hopefully this Saga doesn't die and then we win the game. Though if this Saga dies, we do lose the game. Unlucky. Unlucky. Lost the game. What am I supposed to do, man? I should have floated mana, but it just doesn't really matter. Saga's only weakness, opponent playing cards. It's okay. It's okay. This game is it's comebackable. Oh, great. Now my daze is turned off. Who did this? It's comebackable. Trust me. Trust. Trust. Very comebackable. What's our game plan here, by the way? How do we come back? Lurrus? I currently am 2 black sources away from casting Lurrus, but I think I will change this Lorien into an Underground Sea. Hope they DC? I mean, they are playing Taiga Deathrite Shaman. Like, there's got to be a world where we win this game. All right, well, that resolving is not the world where we win this game, so... I'm going to straight up just concede if they have a counterspell here, so... That would have been really nice. We could have just gone to the next game. Don't bash my boy Taiga. Taiga is only slightly better than Plateau. And friends don't let friends register Plateau. Is it better than Plateau? It's got to be better than Plateau. Bowmaster. I think we're gonna Bowmaster instead of buy Lurrus. Bowmaster doesn't do anything. I guess it eats a Deathrite Shaman. Oh, Rite of Flame and Veil of Summer. Those are the best Magic cards right there. You don't have a vamp. Oh, you're eating. All right, sure. So they played Taiga Underground Sea. Is this the life we're living? We're playing Taiga Underground Sea? Are we gonna hit Domain? I think they're playing Domain. This is a classic 4-color Deathrite Shaman Planeswalker pile. Like, there's an Underground Sea in this player's Ren and 6 deck. That should be illegal. It's definitely illegal, right? Like, oh! You've been beaten in the arena of ideas. Pew! Yeah, I am never, ever registering a Ren and 6 deck that plays an Underground Sea in it. I won't do it. You can't make me. The Thundering Titan wouldn't even want to be good. They have Mox Deathrite in play. I might double Wasteland, or I might at least single Wasteland them. Did miss it? Maybe. All right, Spell Pierce. I guess we want to keep Spell Pierce up for a sec while we put the Lurrus in our hand. And then after we can like Wasteland them to make the Spell Pierce better. I mean, if they just top deck nothing of value, maybe we win. That has happened before. Unfortunately, Spell Pierce is not countering a 3-mana walker right now. It's actually no longer even countering a 4-mana walker. If we draw another land, we can actually play our Lurrus. Maybe we're supposed to, like, if we draw a land, maybe we wasteland them twice so they can't play Hardcast Forests. Or maybe we just play it with Spell Pierce backup. I mean, I'm sure they have a force, right? Like, what other cards can you draw here that you don't use? Like, all you can draw here that you don't use is lands and counters. Like, you play every creature, you play every planeswalker, you play every removal spell. Oh man, playing Orcish Bowmasters against the Wrenn and 6 deck, not ideal. Yeah, that's what I mean. Counters. It could be other counters besides force. Recall. I'd probably just jam recall, to be honest. Like, yeah, it's not good for you, but you just cast it because it's a recall. Bobble? So close. So I guess I bobble. Are we double wastelanding? Brainstorm. I definitely want them to fetch that away if possible here. Maybe they just eat. Man, I was hoping they would. All right, I'm just going to double wasteland them and attack because what else am I doing with this Bowmaster? Oh, F3, 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 F3. Oh, God, I wasn't looking. Okay, well. Island. That doesn't cast my Lurrus. Ah. Fuck. Well, maybe they'll play it. Oh, wait. Did they forget? Pew, 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 pew. I forgot. I'm not going to lie to you. I forgot. My opponent said, oh shit in chat. So opponent also forgot. Everyone forgot. Except for chat, I guess. We were talking about Ancestral, but Brainstorm for some reason did not check off the same box in my head. All right, I think our opponent might have won the game for us. It's possible here. I cut them off on a ton of mana. They lose their Deathrite Shaman. I have Spell Pierce for a walker. I think this is this looks like a little winning, doesn't it? Does it look a little winning? In paper, I would have just missed all these triggers, right? Nah, probably not. It's just a different visual. All right, so my opponent is gonna fetch Badlands. Taiga Badlands Underground Sea. Based and good. Oh, they're just gonna eat me down to 9. Okay, sure. All right. Do you think they play a gosh? Don't say this thing. Don't say these things. Don't wish that into existence. I can't deal. Oh, do we play Lurrus? Yeah, I mean, we have to play. Well, I kind of want to wait until next turn to play Lurrus so that I can play it with Spell Pierce backup. Is that unreasonable? And or I can like Spell Pierce their 3-drop walker or their 4-drop walker or something. I don't think that's unreasonable, right? Because I'm the one with the one with the board. I think I can wait. I'm gonna wait. It's my executive decision. Exclamation mark Y in chat, please. Though no one was actually saying don't wait, so. Oh, they hit the 5th land though. So they can play a 3-drop walker now. Watch them play like an Oko. An Oko would be pretty not that good on this board, actually. I guess it'd be okay on this board. They would just like turn on a Ruby or something. Do I fetch now? I don't want to draw another land, so maybe I go to 8 though. Okay. I got nothing, friend. I think maybe they have Hardcast Force still, right? That's what we were thinking. Unfortunately, the Bowmaster being a 4-power creature now. Oh, man. I think we attack first. Are we probing, though? 2 life, go to 6. If they fetch, they go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 4. Then they're dead on board. Oh, they drew Lightning Bolt. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe I should have probed and tried to hit Force. They don't have Hardcast Force anymore. I guess I'm just going to go to 6. They used a Lightning Bolt on my creature instead of me, so it seems fine. They just have a Collector Roof in hand? Oh, baby. We're cooking now. Make sure I use this Sapphire. Play my Lurrus. Play my Bauble. Bauble them. They're drawing Expressive Iteration. Wow, of course. All right. Fatal Push. My 1 Fatal Push for their 2/2. Expressive Iteration off of Sapphire Ruby as God intended. Should I just Spell Pierce it? I think so. Volcanic Island. Pay for it, sure. Where did you go? Do do do. I wonder if I should be holding this Fatal Push for another Deathray Shaman. I guess there's only 2 left in their deck. I'm getting Lifelink 3 this turn, so I'm like out of range of dying, so maybe it doesn't matter. It's not really fighting. They took Strip Mine, so that gives them the ability, if they have a green source, to fetch and play Collector Roof. We Fatal Push. They do have another green source. Okay. So this is a pretty straightforward Fatal Push their Collector Roof. Bowmaster them, attack for 5. Oh, I guess I have Bobble. I can't Bobble first. Well, I can Bobble first after I push. I guess I could Bobble myself and maybe Lorien reveal, but we're pretty close to drawing with Lorien revealed, so I probably don't want to do that. All right. My opponent did not play a second Planeswalker, which was probably the reason they lost the game. I feel like that deck floods out like nobody's business. All right, so I don't really like Needle, but I'm going to bring in Needle. Do we want to keep Soul Guide Lantern for like the Ren and 6 lock? How many Fatal Pushes do we want for Deathrite Shaman and Oof? Do we want Days on the draw? We probably don't want Mindbreak Trap. Do we want extra Soul Guide Lanterns? I don't know. What don't we want here, chap? What don't we want? I'm not sure. All of our cards seem fine. I don't know if we're bringing in pushes. I think I like the idea of being able to tutor a Needle with a Saga for a Planeswalker. You don't love Force of Negation against the all Planeswalker deck. I reject your opinion and replace it with my own. I think the repeal's fine, actually. Well, the repeal's like, I don't know. The repeal always draws a card. I think it's fine. It gives us another opportunity to like bounce a Ren and 6 and then counter it on the way back down. Maybe it's like kind of a pipe dream, but Cut Gush against the Wasteland deck, is that still good? Slow Ren slaps? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. What, like, how many pushes do we actually want? Like, we do kind of want to push Deathrite Shamans, right? But they only have like a couple cards in their deck. Yeah, no, you definitely want to keep your digs and stuff in this game. They would have been so good last game. I'm going to take the Days out on the draw. And I'm going to take out... Maybe I'll just do that, and I'll play 2 pushes. Bring in Needle and push. I think I want to keep a Soul Guide Lantern, actually. Seems kind of reasonable against them. Maybe I want to trim Bobble if they're keeping in Collector Roofs and stuff. I don't know, something like that, maybe. Where we go? This hand looks like a keep to me. If we draw a blue card, we can probably just go Saga Double Moxen. If we don't draw a blue card, we can probably just go Bowmaster. Volcanic Island. Does that mean upkeep Ancestral? Maybe it just means Renin 6. I guess we see if they counter this, or if they respond by Ancestral in here. If they don't, we can go Underground Sea, and then we don't get Ancestraled, but maybe that's not even good. Don't think I like the idea. I'm gonna go like this. I think I'm gonna hold this Ruby. I didn't think they had an Ancestral, because you almost always fire it off on upkeep there, but they could like have Ancestral and Fluster and Pyro or something. Like a combination of those cards. Oh, they just missed the land drop. So I'm still not going to cast this Bowmaster. What I'm going to do is Wasteland them, and then if they cast Ancestral, I'm going to Bowmaster. Try to draw a blue card for turn. Nice. Lorien Revealed is busted. All right, well, let's Wasteland their only land drop, make a non-game out of it, and then... I feel like there's no reason not to just play everything out now. Well, I'll probably play the Bowmaster on their upkeep just so I don't get like trapped or something. Classic Wasteland non-game. Wasteland is so broken. Drew a land off the top. I kind of want to force this. Tempo game plan. I'm gonna force this. Draw a card with... Ooh, change of plans. Second Bowmaster. Still draw a card. Cool. The Saga push and pull as a mana sink versus Lurrus is a little weird. But I guess it gets a Lotus, and I can just Lurrus Lotus later if I want to, so maybe it doesn't matter. Rest in peace, Saga. You lived a full life. And they probably have like a Renin 6 hand that they kept like... Dig through time. I can cast it. Probably will when they tap out. I lose my Lantern for my Lurrus that way. Maybe that's bad. They probably like what have Ren and 6 kill a Bowmaster here. I took days out, right? I can't hit days. Oh, Collector Oof. Guess that kind of makes my board bad anyways. That just resolves? What is in your hand? So I can just go Underground Sea Repeal. Is that better than forcing this though? Might be better. Well, they might have negation actually. So maybe we just go force Fluster and force it. We could just, well, it's definitely not land Lorien, considering my opponent has a thing that turns off half of my mana. I mean, I think that land repeal is a similar tempo play to force, but I think it's a little bit more fragile. I mean, we also know that they probably don't have a force anyways, so there's like a lot of upside there too. I can't believe we just drew another saga like that. Isn't that like messed up? Disgusting. We also can't cast this Lurrus again, but that's fine. We're kind of just crushing everyone. Maybe this deck's busted. We did play against a bunch of matchups where you don't want Vault Key. Because we played against Collector Roof twice. Ren, kill a Bowmaster. Wait, how is this not Ren plus get a Wasteland? That's gotta be wrong, right? Maybe they have Lightning Bolt for the Orc army. Yeah, they have Lightning Bolt. So are we negating this? Or are we making a construct token? We have to negate this so that we don't get wastelanded, right? Maybe I'm supposed to attack this also at Ren. Interesting how many, I wonder how many lightning bolts they kept in for just Bowmaster. Yeah, I kind of thought they had negation too, but I feel like I have to make that play, right? If they end up bolting the army there, the Ren lives, kills the Bowmaster, I just have nothing, and then they start looping Wastelands. I think not attacking the Ren with my Bowmaster was very bad. I think that was quite a poor play. So if I could do that over, I had the right read on what they were doing, but I didn't make the play around it. So what I should have done is attack both at Ren for sure. Pass one Saga token is lethal. No, well, did they just wasteland me? Oh, you just think that just the Saga token is fine if they just wasteland me? It doesn't matter. That could be true. Okay, round 4. I've got a cat. I have... What are these? Like, none of these hands spark joy, but we have never lost with any of our hands, right? Isn't that weird? Like, none of these hands are good, like, feel good. But we also haven't lost, so what do I know? I don't know. Has Bowmaster been that good? It hasn't really felt like Bowmaster has been good. It feels like mostly it's been Wasteland, right? It's not that simple, Martinez. It's really not in Vintage. This hand covers Bazaar really well, but it basically folds in half to every other deck in the format, especially mono white. Has to be a mulligan. Okay, this hand looks reasonable though. Lorien Revealed is doing a lot of work in this hand, but I wonder if I'm getting rid of one of the wastelands. Probably. Probably want to cycle both baubles. All right, well, I immediately am punished for getting rid of a wasteland, of course, of course. Uh-oh. They're gonna play a Hull Breacher? No. Interesting. Tundra. So just Esper Saga or Initiative Tinker. I think I'd rather have as many cards in hand as possible. Like, these baubles would be so bad against a Hull Breacher or a Bowmaster, right? Hmm. Demonic. So if it's Saga that they get off it, they don't play it this turn, and I'm currently ahead. If it's Ancestral they get off it, I should be able to pay for a Flusterstorm anyways, if I just don't get Lurrus. So I think this is fine. Like, historically, you're never supposed to really counter the tutors. You're supposed to counter the card that comes after it, but that heuristic has kind of changed in the last few years. This saga, drawing two Moxen make this saga just incredibly better. It was pretty bad in our hand because we would have had to go on like see go, but the fact that we drew double Moxen makes the saga good. And I think the answer is, like, I'm not gonna put Lurrus in my hand because I'm not playing Lurrus on the next turn. I'm making saga tokens, right? So I'd rather hold open my mana so I can beat Flusterstorm, like Ancestral Flusterstorm, than spend my mana and put Lurrus in my hand right now. I think it's like a lot to do, one with like Saga being a demonic target you can't force, and two, like Flusterstorm protecting Ancestral, I think are two of the big ones in my mind. I think they have Ancestral. Maybe they'll just Ancestral on my upkeep and then Fluster, so I have to pay mana. I guess they could have Negation back up as well. I'm still gonna force this. I think it's just like a way they get back in the game. Okay, so they had Force Pitching Force. Those cards weren't very good right now anyways because I had Saga, so seems fine for them. Fetch land. Saga tokens. I can't cruise right now, so we're just going to play the Saga Mirror. And we are very far ahead in the Saga Mirror right now. Though if they tinker, obviously we're dead, so... We have to be careful if this cruise doesn't get Hull Breachered as well. Do I want to fetch now? I think so. I don't really know how I play around a Hull Breacher here. Maybe I'm just supposed to get Lurrus and go Lotus Lurrus. Oh, they have swords. Okay. Can we, like... I can merchant for force. Oh, I can't Lotus Lurrus this turn. So I just put the Lotus in play and Merchant for Force, and then on the next turn we go for Lurrus. That's the best line. This way, if they have a Hold Breacher, I can still play Magic. Because the Hold Breacher is also stopping Bobble Loop. They're going to flash in a Breacher in response. Oh, they're going to negate it. That's fine. Now we just crack this Lotus and cruise, right? Guess they could Flusterstorm at the end. If we crack this Lotus and use all 3 mana, we have to put 5 cards. We leave 1 Bobble behind. Puts us pretty far from Lurrus Lotus, but we can leave Bobble and Lotus in the yard. And we can't get breached. This looks really strong. They have Fluster as their last card? Okay. All right, so we still have Lurrus in our back pocket. Opponent has no cards in hand. We have a Construct token in play. Opponent can still kill us with something like Tinker off the top, but they tapped like a White Plume Adventurer. They tapped a Tinker. Awesome. Great. Fuck. Come on, man. That's so bro. I hate Tinker Mirror so. Oh, it's not Tinker Mirror, I guess, because I'm not on Tinker. But oh my god, how dumb is that? We got rid of all their cards, put ourselves in a good position, and they just slam a Tinker off the top. Oh, so dumb. I mean, this is also kind of how Tinker Mirrors play out, where you just like, who resolves their Tinker? Like, they drew so many bad cards, too. Like, they had swords and no Saga, no anything. They Demonic for Ancestral. Yeah, I don't know. I think we did that. I think we played this game pretty well, all things considered. It just didn't work out, right? This just gets, they have a Yagwell in their deck. They probably don't have a Yagwell in their deck because it's Initiative Tinker and they just play random cards. Time Walk, sure. I'm going to play this out because my opponent's deck is very, very bad at using the Citadel. So I think it's worth playing out. Yep, look at that. How many passes are you going to have to do with the Citadel here? They're at 9. Like... please, please, whatever you do, chat, just because Dom Harvey won a thing with Initiative Tinker, don't be tricked into registering this deck, please. It's just not good. I don't believe. You're gonna crack your Lotus? Probably. I just felt like it was a reasonable spot to use Spell Pierce there. They're at 6 life. They have a Lavinia, a Citadel. Ah, they found a Saga. Uh-oh. We don't have a Manifold Key in our deck, huh? That's really bad for us. Oh, you could have drawn Wasteland on that turn. Would have been sick. We can't even draw our own Tinker. White Plume. Well, that unfortunately makes a blocker. So now they have 2 blockers. If it was just the Saga, it actually would have been fine, right? Because they would have had to chump block. That was like the only one. I do this now because I don't have Revolt, so this makes them chunk block with the White Plume. Where's the other artifact? Oh, the Citadel is the other artifact. No, my opponent is a perfectly powerful magician. This deck does win in Vintage. Oh, come on! Nothing wrong with my how do I win this game? Is there any way forward? I don't think so. If that Fatal Push resolves, the White Plume goes, they make a 5/5, and it's still bad for us, but it's winnable. But now they don't think it's winnable now. Like if they had a negation or a force of will, we actually could have Flusterstormed it, but it had to be exactly misstep. These things have vigilance, so I don't even think we can sneak. I guess we could sneak a win if my opponent draws into an active Bowmaster. We don't have very much time though, considering we're dead next turn. Okay. So we could draw like a Dig Through Time, and then we could Bowmaster Ancestral them. I feel like there are outs here. That's not the one. All right. Embarrassingly, we did lose to initiative. Hopefully we can make this comeback happen. What do we even want? We don't want Lantern. We probably want Needle in the Saga Mirror. I don't not all of their creatures are white, right? They play like Hull Breachers and stuff. Let me go look at the last Dom Harvey list here. 3 Lavinia, 3 Hull Breacher, 4 White Plume, 1 Seasoned. I don't think we want 3 Ren, 3 Push. That sounds extremely bad. Well, they have 8 white creatures in their deck because you would consider Lavinia a white creature. Fatal Push is good because it hits Saga Token and it hits all of those creatures. Soul Ring does not hit the Saga. We don't have any Dress Downs in our deck. I really don't like that. Dress Down is so broken. This deck should definitely play Dress Down. How are we fitting these cards in our deck, though? Repeal is fantastic in this matchup. Bowmaster kind of medium, right? Cutting draw spells? Nah, we don't do that here. I don't know. Like, the best card in their deck is Tinker, you know? Like, the White Plumes or whatever. Our deck is probably bad against the White Plumes for what it is worth, which is probably why we need to have Bowmaster. Like that, maybe. Trading with an attacking 3/3 is not a great upside, but we almost won that game where our opponent tinkered for Citadel. We were extremely close to winning that game still. at least one Soul Rend. I don't know. Doesn't seem good to me. Fortunately, we can't keep this hand. Single Mox let us keep that hand. This hand's good though. I think this is just Jet into Underground Sea pass, and then we can Demonic. Hopefully, maybe Ancestral with Flusterstorm backup or something like that. Ship Fluster? No. Another double Mox hand. Ship Fluster, they said. Ship Fluster. Get that shit out of my face. I think I like Demonic Ancestral right now. It plays into Negation, but it plays around Hullbreacher. And it's going to make my Brainstorm better. I could theoretically Brainstorm right now and then Demonic to shuffle, but I just don't have enough cards for that to be good. I could have also not played my land drop, Demonic for Saga, which might have been good as well. Are they just going to force it? Even if I Brainstorm, I can't hit days anyways. So I guess I just let this happen. My opponent has 2 cards in hand and 3 mana. I have 2 cards in hand and 3 mana. I have an answer to Saga. They have no follow-up. They could have Hull Breacher. I'm just going to hold this Brainstorm until they cast a Hull Breacher. Fatal Push. Maybe I should just play Strip Mine and get Lurrus. I need a creature in case they play initiative creature. I guess I could just Wasteland them. I'm really against Wastelanding a Saga deck, but they did miss their land drop, and they have just Petal Pearl. And I can actually just kill the Hull Breacher if they play it because of Revolt from Strip Mine. I probably have to Brainstorm in response to a Hull Breacher anyways. Just because if something, like they have a misstep for my Fatal Push, then I get stuck with a Brainstorm in my hand. They must have a Hull Breacher, right? Well, we are a full Moxen deck, and Soul Rend does draw a card. So, I don't know. I'm not a Soul Rend gamer. I haven't really experimented in that space. They're F6, so what I'm going to do is bottom Force, bottom Time Walk, because I won't be able to trigger this Revolt again. I would rather... I guess I theoretically could keep Force Time Walk, force this, and then draw Dig next turn, but I think that's worse than just Time Walk, just Dig next turn. All right. I don't think I need Force, so I think I want to just draw... I don't want to draw my Force. I don't think I want to draw my Force. I think I want to just Dig right now. I guess there's a world where I'm running into... I mean, they would have had Negation last turn. Yeah. Saga plus Time Walk. I don't get to Time Walk this turn, but I get to go Saga. I get to go Saga land drop and just go pass, and then go create a token time walk. Yeah. That's winning for sure. All of our games that we've like convincingly won are all because of Wasteland. Wasteland is like the opponent keeping one land, and us having Wasteland has been like half of our game wins. Do we want traps against them? I don't think so. I think we just take out this daze and bring back the negation and then run with this. Seems okay. Have a cat. Negation, misstep, push, max mana, Lurrus. Seems fine. Okay. Keep. 7 cards versus 7 cards. What do you got for us, opponent? Pass. Push. All right, I'm going to deploy the fleet and get the Lurrus going. Not that I have anything to do with the Lurrus, but I think it's better than doing nothing. No 1-drop spell. Still have negation. Probably have too much removal. This hits our ability to cast Lurrus. There's a strip mine in this deck? I didn't know there's a strip mine in this deck. Yeah, I think the Lorien revealeds are what make it work. That's a snap misstep for me. I don't think I'm supposed to wasteland this strip mine. So the upside of wastelanding the strip mine is that they can't play a white plume. But oh, we're just gonna get swords right away. I see. I guess my misstep was bad. I think I need to hold this wasteland for revolt, though. The problem is now, if they're swords, if this is signaling they're gonna swords us, right? If they swords our Lurrus, then if they play a white plume, they're just gonna get initiative and beat us because we don't have any creatures. That sucks. I think I'm forced into this line. Yeah. Also, they can like strip mine our black source. I think we're losing this game by a lot. This is like a big reason why I didn't want to bring in too many fatal pushes, is my opponent's deck just doesn't play that many creatures. It plays a good amount of creatures, but like there's a lot of times where this fatal push is just dead, right? Oh, it's so bad for me. Oh, shit. Okay. Man, fatal push is, I don't know. I'm a kind of a dismember fan, and these fatal pushes have looked real sus. I got nothing. F6. I haven't drawn any Lorians this game. Maybe it's because I don't have 4 in my deck. Like I... Could be. I think we're very low chance to win this game. Probably need to draw Lorien or fetch right away. Time walk. I wonder, like, I definitely think the misstepping top is something I would definitely do there. And it looks really good now that opponent has a mana crypt. But it's still a little rough to... I have to wasteland this right away, unfortunately, so I can't save it for revolt. Maybe I can get... I don't have that many things that trigger... Oh, come on, bro! You top deck... All right, we are super doomed. Extremely, extremely doomed. We don't have a way to deal with like a bunch of Saga tokens. It's not a Saga fight if I don't draw any Sagas. I guess we technically can beat tokens with Fatal Pushes, but like it's not a very good trade. I'd love to have a Dress Down in my deck. I can't cast this Brainstorm. Gonna just go to their turn and wait until they activate again, and then I will kill his Construct token. We have like 3 fetches, 4 wastelands, 4 sagas. 4 baubles, Soul Guide Lantern. Push seems fine. Push seems fine. Why'd they get a Black Lotus? They got something powerful here. White Plume. They know about negation. If I draw something that triggers Revolt, I can keep this Brainstorm. I think I'm just gonna force this pitching negation. I guess I'm gonna die is what I'm gonna do. It does get worse. Cathar Commando. I love a good Cathar Commando. All right. That triggers Revolt, but unfortunately we're dead probably. But I guess we get to do it, so. Why does this deck not include Time Vault? I don't know, ask Mogged. Probably because Time Vault's a bad draw and you don't really want it in a control deck, but I don't think it's a good enough reason. What are my best draws here? Bowmaster. So I guess we will fetch for black. Cast this, and then I look 3 deep. Bowmasters? Any Bowmasters in chat? Fire! Yes! Let's go! I don't know if that's good enough to win, unfortunately. I get 2 turns of blocking, so I have to top deck again. I don't think this is good enough to win, unfortunately. So I'll have to top deck another good card after. I don't have Lurrus. Lurrus was removed on like turn 2 in this game. I guess I take the first shot. Nah, no, I'll block the first one. So what am I needling? I can't needle Saga, right? They've used 2 sagas. I've used 0 sagas. Saga doesn't save me from this game, but I guess I needle Manifold Key. I already countered their top. Turn 1. So this keeps my Bowmaster around for 1 more turn, so they can't draw removal, or sorry, they can't draw Ancestral. They drew Ancestral! Whoa, they went for it! Oh my god, it's a game. We're playing a game. Let's go, F6. How many times is this gonna happen today? I mean, we might still lose, but yeah, I mean, maybe that's why Bowmaster is great. Everyone just gets Ancestrals and Brainstorms cast into them. I'm gonna hold this Wasteland in my hand for Saga. They can have a Hull Breacher, so I'm not attacking with my Bowmaster. But they have a clock because of Mana Crypt. They don't have a white source, so they can't cast any more swords. Ah! We should not be winning this game. All right, so if my opponent hadn't cast Ancestral, they would have been able to cast it after my Bowmaster's Chump, which would have been really bad for me. And then I would have drawn... Well, I would have drawn Demonic Tutor. What does Demonic Tutor... Demonic Tutor gets Repeal, and then I repeal the construct? So theoretically, if my opponent plays optimally, I might still be okay. Because this was my top deck on the turn I need it. So that's pretty sweet. All right. Here we go. 5-0 match. Can we trophy with a cat? I like this hand. Keep. This covers a lot of bases. Pretty happy with this. This looks really reasonable. I guess this hand's really bad against Wasteland, but... Are we going to get punished finally? Oh, damn. LAC's going into game 5. All right. So first, let's take a bobble and take a peek at what our opponent is playing. They mulliganed to 6. And all right. Hold on. I'm trying to remember if this list got posted anywhere. Kinda is a brewer. So this is what happens. I don't even know where this list would have been posted in. All right, whatever. I give up. We'll just play it blind. I didn't end up watching the GeoGuessr World Cup. Was it pretty cool? Or I don't even know how well of a entertainment that would be. All right, so my opponent revealed Zur the Enchanter on the top of their library. I don't think I want to Spell Pierce a... Maybe I do want to Spell Pierce a Pearl. Though if they have a bunch of enchantments in their deck, maybe I want to hold off. I could see there being a good reason to Spell Pierce a Pearl, though. But I just don't know how many, I don't know how many enchantments they're playing. If they're playing like tons of enchantments, then there's definitely a lot of value in holding Spell Pierce. Obviously, we just snap off a Wasteland on the Saga. That's weird. Well, I think like GeoGuessr in chat is kind of fun because like I get to talk to you. But if they're playing like competitive GeoGuessr, I guess the person who's talking is the commentator, so maybe it's fine. I feel like there's no world in which I'm not casting Demonic here, but maybe if there's like an Ancestral on the top of the library. Soul Ring, that's probably not enough. Oh, well, I can't hold up Spell Pierce if I do this, but I think it's fine. We just need to get... We don't have another land drop for our next turn, so we need to get a Demonic... Oh, sorry, an Ancestral anyways. I guess theoretically we could get a Gush. We have so many lands in our deck. There's no chance we don't draw a land. Let's get an Ancestral. Our deck is like 40 cards lands. Probably. we drew a land. So now we get to play a nice, like, play land pass, though, which is pretty nice. Hold open everything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They playing a Zur? I guess we're countering Zur, right? Just force pitch Spell Pierce. In case we have to force again. I will be going to Eternal Weekend in both the States and in Prague. I'm gonna hold this Wasteland for another Saga. Oh, I shouldn't have played this land. I should have waited until I maybe drew a Saga. Yeah, I got punished immediately. My bad. I kind of autopiloted while I was talking. I wanted to Ancestral first, and then I could play a Saga or Wasteland or Underground, see if I drew one. Bayou, Tundra, Underground Sea, Urza Saga. Oh, wait, maybe they only play one Saga so they can tutor for it, right? Does that make sense? They play one Saga in their deck that they can tutor for? I'm not sure. I'm going to be going to Prague with my buddy Dan, but I'm sure there will be tons of other American players in Prague. Eternal content creators, vintage regulars. I'm sure there will be plenty. So I don't know if my opponent's deck actually plays more Sagas, but I think it's not really doing a lot to Wasteland them anyways, so. Add Lurrus? When did I have a chance to add Lurrus? Sorry. Last turn, was there a chance? I don't remember. I was planning on doing Saga, Mana, Saga. I might have missed it. I've been, I got a lot of things going on. Did I have just 4 open mana and I got rid of my negation? So probably I should have made bought Lurrus back into my hand. I just am not even remotely thinking about Lurrus because first I need to spend my mana on Saga, then I'm gonna spend my mana on Lorien Revealed. So it just feels like I'm never gonna Lurrus, so I wasn't really thinking about it. Probably a mistake though. Not saying it wasn't a mistake, I'm just saying why. Where do we go? What do I want to do now? I have so much going on. His hand was sick. So I guess if I had put Lurrus in my hand last turn, I could get Lotus this turn and go Lotus, Lurrus, return stuff. So it was pretty bad. All things considered. Have I played my land yet this turn? Of course not. So I could still do it with my Wasteland. Guess I should. Oh, I guess maybe I'm supposed to attack first. Whatever. I don't really care. I'm taking game actions now. They have a hardcast force here. Yikes. Expedition map? Maybe, maybe not. Expedition map seems fine. We were kind of tight on slots because when we were looking at changing up the deck to play Volkey and stuff, there wasn't a lot of room. Yes, Eternal Weekend is basically the only event in Europe and North America that requires you to have cards. Animate Dead? Yeah, the days has been quite good. Do I have to be more cautious with my Sagas? I don't think so. Swords to Plowshares. This is a Lord of the Rings card? Okay. On my Lurrus. So if I let my opponent animate dead their Zur, Is that bad for me? I'll just let this thing happen. I don't think this matters. I just force their animate dead and then attack with constructs and win soon. What am I getting with this merchant scroll? I'm just gonna get a gush. I guess that's better than a Lorien revealed here. Well, I guess I could get a dig through time. Just find another force. It's fine. Do I have another underground sea? I do. I have no idea. My opponent is doing some brewing. I have no idea what's in their deck. I could not tell you. Besides, there's probably enchantments, blue cards. Guess I should have played my island. I don't know, I should have done something else. Whatever I did was like not optimal, but that's fine. Time walk, repeal. Now time walk, jet lets me actually deal an extra 2 damage and play my bowmaster. That seems fine. It's a little less like value, but I do want to clock them out here before something bad happens. Yeah, I mean, it could just be sagas and you're playing a 4-mana saga tutor, I guess. That's possible. I assume like their sideboard has like a bunch of rest in pieces and stony silences and stuff. I feel like I could have I could lose this game based on how loosey goosey I played it, to be honest. I kind of didn't go for the max value when I probably should be going for max value. A third Zur? No, I want to play this. Well, so the thing here is if they block with Zur, I can ping it. But I don't think I even need that because if they block with Zur and I attack all, I take it for 5, then I go again. Yeah, I mean, I think I have lethal, right? So especially if I draw a Mox. Yeah, I mean, I guess that works too. We've drawn this one Fatal Push at like really opportune times, haven't we? Don't even need the Time Walk. All right, so all we saw from our opponent's deck is that it has lands of every color. It has 3 Zur. It has an Urza's Saga. It has Animate Dead. It has Swords to Plowshares, and it has Force of Will. Soren does technically kill Zur, but is it really better than Fatal Push, which can kill construct tokens? I don't know how many sagas they have, which is like the real question mark. If they have 4 sagas, then we want saga stuff. But if they don't have 4 sagas, which they might not, considering they have 5 colors. Two saga, 2 waste. I don't know, man. I think we just bring in some fatal pushes. Take out a daze on the draw. Take out a Flusterstorm. Play a bunch of push. I just don't know what their other I just don't know what their other enchantments are. They have to have more enchantments. I just maybe there's like one Animate Dead, one Stony Silence, one Rest in Peace, one something. I don't know. Not sure. This hand has Force, Triple Wasteland, Sapphire Bauble. It's probably fine. I think they only have one. I would guess there's an Animate Dead in there for like toolbox. So I don't think you want to keep in a Soul Guide just for the toolbox. Sure. Let's try it. Deafening Silence. Our deck doesn't really care about Deafening Silence very much. Ah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I still don't think I'm forcing it though. Shieldred. Oh, I forgot that it's kinda does this. Yeah, I would never force this dork, I don't think. If I can, I mean, my game plan is to like stop them from having mana this way. I have 4 Fatal Push in my deck now. Like forcing this dork seems way out of bounds. But I guess if they just hold a fetch land, then they can play a Shieldred and it's uncounterable and it's bad for me. Oh, I'm sure there are Transformers in the deck. I'm sure there are. All right. Well, this is a problem, I think. So let's force this dork. Maybe they'll attack with this at some point. They're not even going to bother attacking with it. So their hand is Shieldred, 3 unknowns. I mean, we're not currently winning unless they're out of mana. They are out of mana. Now I just want to draw Underground Sea. Seal this game up. That is technically an Underground Sea, but not in the exact sense I needed it right here. If I Bowmaster this halfling, this game should just be completely over, right? Should I negate this? Doesn't pretty close. This is the game plan that I signed up for, though, so it's kind of on me, right? If I don't show them a land, I'll just act like I didn't forgot Lurrus or whatever. Maybe I should just get Lurrus anyways. This is where you say, in paper, you go, oh, I forgot Lurrus. Oh, no, they have a 3-drop? That's the worst outcome. Oh, no, they have that. Sure. If you can make a nice fake in paper where you go, oh, I forgot to put Lurrus in my hand. If they don't hit a land here, we're okay. If they hit a land here, we're just super doomed. Well, I tried to play the land in like F6 fast to act like that I forgot about it, but they played around it. All right, I mean, if they're gonna play around it, we should just put this Bowmaster in play. It's fine. Then we just untap and strip mine them. The Time Walk actually like saved them from getting strip mined, which is like really, really good. If they had hit a land and played Shieldred here, we would be in pretty deep trouble, but oh. Yeah. That's certainly a magic card, isn't it? This triggers Revolt, by the way. Call back. And now we're looping baubles. And we know their hand every time. Ooh, Pearl's a good draw for them. Pearl is a good draw for them. I mean, a single Shieldred here is quite good still. Like, I don't have a Fatal Push yet, and I have all these baubles going off. If they resolve a Shieldred, it's still quite good. Swords? Yeah, I guess I saw that coming too. Uh-oh. Now are we holding this? If they draw... Oh, they're drawing the land for Shieldred. I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose. Oh, okay. Have to draw a Fatal Push. All right, this game got hard. I was not able to keep them off of mana from casting their 4-drops. Saga's a good draw. I wish I had played my... Saga might help a little bit here. Imagine if they like hit another land off the top and then just play another 4-drop. I thought it'd be pretty achievable to like keep them from casting a 4-drop. Maybe I should have just forced this Delighted Halfling at the very beginning of the game. Maybe Life Game was right. Lord Life Game was right there. I just felt like it was super achievable to keep them off of 4, but apparently that was not the case, even with Triple Wasteland and a Force on their mocks. They also had to hit a... I guess they didn't have to hit a black mana. I think I need to keep my life total as high as possible, so I'm going to chump. I can trigger Revolt by chumping at some point as well. Oh, hello. I can also trigger Revolt with Saga to, leaving the battlefield. Okay, so now I have an answer. They could have Force. Remember, they had Force in their first game. I mean, I have 4 Fatal Pushes in my deck, right? It is by far the most likely card I am to have to draw. They hit a blue legendary. All right, so I guess we are not Fatal Pushing. We're going to Fatal Push next turn after our Saga leaves the battlefield. They're going to bounce my Bowmaster too. It's okay. Saga triggers Revolt. But I guess if they draw Force of Will, man, it's going to be so bad for us. Oh, if they bounce Saga? Yeah, it's quite bad for us if they bounce Saga. I'm not sure they want to bounce Saga now. No, they plussed. So if I take this hit, well, they didn't. Oh, they're going to protect the Teferi. I think I hate this line. I don't like this line. There's got to be something better. All right, so we just have to hope and pray that our Fatal Push resolves. That's all we can really do here. Oh, Bowmaster trigger. Sure, that's fair. So if we get Soul Ring, we have not enough to cast Lorien and Fatal Push. So we're better off just getting a Bauble. True or false? Because next turn we could still cast Lorien. Also, if we just get anything, it's a 5/5. Let's get Bauble. Let's Fatal Push. If they want to force this, it's fine because we'll play a 5/5 right after. Maybe it's not fine. Maybe I would want to do this the other way. I'm not sure. Force pitching Zur. I mean, we're still dying to this thing. Like, we are still losing to this Shieldred, right? I'm not supposed to activate this Bauble because I'm going to take way too much damage. I'm not sure we're winning. Maybe I wasn't supposed... I mean, if they weren't going to block anyways, then maybe it didn't matter, but... I need to draw, like, another Fatal... Oh, saving this Bauble lets me Fatal Push again. So that's pretty important as well. There's 0 cards in hand. All right, so we just need to find a Fatal Push before we die. I don't think we're winning this race, no. They gain 2 life every turn, and we lose 2 additional life every turn, and they have 2 jump blockers. We just need a Fatal Push. Saga's not bad. So if we were to draw 3 cards this turn... we would take 6. And we'd go to 5. I'm winning this race? What math did you do? Attack for 10. They go to 13. Then they go to 15. Attack back. I chump. I go to 9. They double chump. Maybe with the Saga I'm winning now. I wasn't winning before. Well, I can't make tokens till next turn. If I cast Lorien Revealed, I can't attack, right? But if I do draw a Fatal Push, I instantly win. But I do think with the second Saga here, I might be racing now. Because I chump for this turn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're winning the race because of the second Saga now. So I don't think I have to cast Lorien. If I hadn't drawn Saga for turn, I don't think this works. I don't think it's that unreal. Like, Bazaar of Baghdad taps and puts in 20 power for free regularly. This costs actual mana. Oh. Did I do the math wrong? Maybe they drew 9, 7. Seven. This is definitely losing for them, right? Maybe they have swords. I don't know what I'm missing here. They have to block every construct next turn. Another instance where I kind of think I want a manifold key, right? I don't know. I think this deck, at the very least, this deck should probably have Vault Key. Right? Like, am I crazy? I don't know. We haven't had people really board in Artifact Hate against us, and we did play against 2 Collector Roof decks. So. I think the Manifold Key is a big part of why constructs actually work. If you could just chump block constructs forever, you can play things like Mentor, Young Pyromancer, Iconoclast. But because of Manifold Key, a lot of like blocking a large creature with a bunch of small creature gameplay goes out the window. I actually think Manifold Key was a huge mistake. I really wish Manifold Key was not printed. I guess at this point you just get a Soul Ring because I'm going to cast Lorien Revealed if they chump. Yeah, but like the deck building cost of playing a Shadow Sphere versus playing a Manifold Key is quite different. So a way I could die here is if I cast Lorien Revealed and they have a Bowmaster in their deck. So I actually am just not going to cast that. I take back my game plan. I just don't really want to die randomly to a Bowmaster. Maybe it doesn't actually kill me, but I can just not do that. Currently winning on board with a Force in hand. I can hard cast. All right, easy 5-0. That's not the 5-0 deck, though. God damn it, I had the wrong deck showing. Man. I'm so dumb. I guess we're gonna do the old crop it into the picture, huh? Let me put it down here. I'm super sad. I could have easily had a nice picture. You think it's been I don't 5-0 that much anymore. 5-0 Lurrus. All right, so this is the deck we played, and we 5-0'd with it, and the idea felt solid. So if we wanted to keep with this main idea and just upgrade on the deck itself, what do we want to do, chat? What do we think? If we want to keep the deck as a Lurrus deck, we want to just... I think this Needle Lantern should be swapped, or at least removed. I think we want Vault Key, which maybe means you end up trimming on at least some number of baubles. Well, we didn't play against any mono white, so I have no idea how our mono white matchup actually fares. So having like 7 removal doesn't sound bad to me. Well, I mean, like this deck looks like it's bad against mono white, so I think that's why you have so much removal, right? Do we think we need the 4th Lorien Revealed is a question. I mean, it lets you tutor, but I don't think it matters. I mean, I don't know like how much different this is than playing any other removal. Like, because we've already maxed out on our generic removal spots, having a Soul Rend as your mono white removal card seems fine. You don't think it's necessary, but you haven't seen the deck against mono white. And I look at this deck and I think this deck is going to get destroyed by mono white. Unless you like have a turn 1 Saga and they don't have a Wasteland, how are you ever beating mono white? Yeah, but you have full off-color Moxen. I don't think 2 mana matters. Do we want to play Vampiric? I don't know. Probably have to cut 2 Bobble if we do this. I do think you probably want a Dismember at least. I don't know. Like, there's definitely positives and negatives to playing the Dismember. I just don't think that Soul Rend is like one of the big problems with the way this deck is constructed. Oh, Gush was actually fine for us, but I think I'd rather just cut the Gush for a Lorien revealed. Well, I actually just like don't think Virtue's Ruin is good. I think like it costs 3 mana. You're not playing a mana crypt. I actually think that Virtue's Ruin is just not playable. So I think the Gush goes for the Lorien. We swap 2 baubles for Vault Key. I do want to play Tinker Sphinx in the sideboard, even if we don't play Tinker main. I kind of think Tinker main is bad, but I could see you playing Tinker main. I'm a big Snuff Out believer, but you do have a lot of non-swamp lands, so I'm not actually sure Snuff Out is viable here. No, I do think Soul Rend's better than Deathmark. Like, I don't think that the extra 1 cost is actually a lot with your full off-color Moxen suite. You can play Tinker Sphinx and just not reveal Lurrus. That's like, you don't actually need Lurrus against Bazaar decks. Like, you could even swap a bunch of these cards back out for ley lines, but I don't think you need to. Maybe you do. I mean, like, you're still a Saga deck, so you kind of want to have these. So, I mean, I don't want to like greatly depart from what the deck is doing, because the deck is clearly doing the thing that it says well. You know, it's clearly doing what it wants to do well. I actually think this Daze was good. I thought this Daze would be bad, and I think it was good. Well, I mean, there's definitely value in a Hurkyl's Recall, but there are just like no shops in the metagame. Shops is basically just dead, right? Maybe you don't even need Tinker Sphinx, but I feel like Tinker Sphinx is the absolute single best way to beat Bazaar. Am I wrong? Is that an incorrect evaluation? That feels like the best way to beat Bazaar to me. Maybe I would rather play the 4th Fatal Push over the 3rd Soul Rend. I think 3 traps is too many traps. I don't even know where you want 3 traps. I guess you want 3 traps against like Jewel, which doesn't really exist anymore. Doomsday, maybe. So this doesn't like really change the vibe of the deck at all. It just adds in Volkey as a way we can additional way we can win, which I think is important. I wonder if this deck cuts Treasure Cruise. So you want to play Dig because you have a Merchant Scroll, but maybe you just cut Merchant Scroll too. Like, this is not a great Merchant Scroll deck. What if we instead play Merchant Scroll, we play Vamp? This seems fine. I don't know. There's things you can change, is what I'm saying. But I'm not 100% sure that I'm not 100% sure that suggested changes are making the deck better. Some of them I think are, but some of them, like, there's obvious pros and cons to adding Time Vault Key in your deck. There's pros and cons to adding Vamp Tutor in your deck. There's pros and cons to taking in and out blue cards. Like, how many blue cards are we at now? We did add a Lorien, so we're probably at the same. No, we're 1 less blue card than before. If we cut like another blue card and add a Vampiric Tutor, then we're at 22. Yeah, I'm not sure how many games you actually need a map reaction, because we've played against a lot of fair decks in this league, and that's not always the case. We'll see, Sumbo. I kind of want to do other things. We'll see. I just want to get like a couple example deck lists for example changes so that I can post about it. I don't know. Like, the Vamp isn't amazing in this deck, but Vamp for a Saga is kind of sick though, right? I kind of like the idea of a Vamp. I want to cut something that's not a blue card if I can help it, though, but I'm not sure we can. I'm not sure if the Fatal Push in the main should be a Dismember, because it's going to hit more things. Vamp is a good card, but it's also card disadvantage, and our deck is not really making up for card disadvantage, right? It's not like we're vamping for Tinker. Vampiric Tutor is not a card without a downside. What about Flusterstorm? I think Repeal was quite good. If we're going to play Merchant Scroll, I'd like to keep the Repeal. Cutting 4th Bowmaster. I'm not like, in the matchups we played today, I don't think Bowmaster was the end-all be-all, but I do think there are matchups in the format where we do need to be playing for Bowmaster. I just wonder if like one of these delve spells is a cuttable card. I don't want to go below 2 Bobble because Bobble is like pretty important with Lurrus, right? I really like Needlemane. So I feel like it has to be one of these 1-drop counter spells. So probably a Flusterstorm. Maybe the Flusterstorm just goes in the board and then I play less. How much removal am I at right now? 7. I could cut a delve spell. Which one is worse? I think Cruise, like, I think Cruise is a lot worse, but I'm not 100% sure we always have blue. But we are playing Merchant Scroll. Ooh, yeah, Dress Down. Our deck is not like the best Dress Down deck because we obviously are hampering 2 of our Dress Down cards, but having an answer to multiple, I just would like an answer to multiple Saga tokens. It's good. One less Wasteland is a no. Wasteland was the best card. Did you watch the league? Wasteland was the best card. Wasteland was definitely the best card. Maybe I just cut this and play the Fluster. Well, if our way to win is like Urza Saga, you don't exactly want to be recurring Dress Down, right? I don't know. This seems like a reasonable like direction to go. So we'll just save this and call this another avenue you can take. I'm not gonna go out on I'm not gonna put my money on where my mouth is and say that this is a better version. I think there are some aspects of it that I think are improvements. New Lurrus, and then, well, like, why do we have to care about shops? What about shops makes us care about shops? I don't really think anything does, right? I think in this case, you just go ley lines. Like, I just don't even know if you want to bring, like, I don't even know if you want to have any shop state. I think this version would rather have Dismember. And then I definitely think Cruise is bad in this version. So this is like another way you can go forward where you cut the Lurrus and you have a little bit more power cards. I don't know if this exactly works because the Lurrus recursion engine is pretty important to go with your Saga Wasteland plan. I'm not even sure I want to suggest this deck. I don't really think I like the idea. I think the Lurrus is pretty integral to what you're doing with your once you like lose your control looping aspect, I guess you like gain some amount of power. But like, is this deck better than playing just a normal blue black Saga Wheels deck? I don't really think so. Oh no, it's like very different. Like it has 5 wastelands in it, right? Like that's a huge difference. But at this point, like, what's stopping you from going Mana Crypt Hull Breachers? I'm going to just cut this out, and we'll just say, like, here's maybe some suggestions, and we'll call that a day. This was cool. This was fun. This deck is powerful. Maybe give it a shot if you are interested in playing controlling Wasteland Magic, or are you a Saga lover? Thank you to Mogged for winning with this idea and giving me content. I always like content. And, of course, more vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.